Barely 20 kilometers across the Straits of Gibraltar from Spain lies Tangier, which owes its importance to its position at the entrance to the Mediterranean. Today, it is the second largest city in Morocco and boasts one of the widest beaches you could imagine. In the Middle Ages, there was a constant struggle between Spain and Portugal to gain possession, and in 1672 it even came into British hands when Catherine of Braganza married Charles II of England. It was part of her dowry. Shortly afterwards, Samuel Pepys, the diarist, was appointed governor of Tangier. He supervised the evacuation of the British garrison in 1686. Morocco has a constitutional monarchy under King Hussein II. His portrait appears on every lamppost in the city. Rabat is the first city of modern Morocco and the seat of government. Its people are truly proud of their modern mosque, whose beauty and opulence cannot be denied. Unfortunately, entrance to all mosques and other religious sites in Morocco are forbidden to all but Muslims. The colossal parade ground makes a magnificent forecourt to the royal palace of Rabat, the home of the reigning monarch. Unfortunately, we were not here on a Friday, when the king, dressed in white, on a white horse, crosses the parade ground on his way to the palace mosque. As you approach the mausoleum of Mohammed V, you pass a guard of the king's lancers, mounted on their beautiful black steeds. Though built during the 1960s, the tomb and other structures are the epitome of traditional Moroccan artistic opulence. In the mausoleum, the onyx sarcophagus rests at ground level, and visitors view it from a mezzanine above. A tremendous brass lamp swings over the sarcophagus, suspended from a ceiling glowing with rich gold ornamentation. Dashing guards with billowing capes and Berber rifles watch to see that propriety is observed. In front of the mausoleum is a forest of stone columns, the ruins of the 12th century mosque, which was destroyed by the great earthquake of 1755. Fez is the most complete medieval city in Morocco, although the main boulevard of the modern part had a western appeal. Soon we were to see the first of our donkeys, on our way to view the front of the royal palace, which the king occupies for only 1 month of the year. Although not allowed entrance, we were able to admire the intricacies of the mosaics of the doorways. From the palace, we made our way to the Medina Fez el Bali, an ancient walled city in itself. We entered through the Bab el Berjalou, where 500,000 people live and have their shops. This is an incredibly intricate network of lanes, blind alleyways and souks, and one could, without a guide, be hopelessly lost. In fact, 2 members of our party became separated and ultimately had to pay an Arab to guide them out of this unbelievable maze. No vehicular traffic is possible in the Medina, so donkeys are the means of transport. Loaded as they are in these narrow lanes, when you hear the cry of "Balik, Balik," you have to squeeze yourself into the nearest doorway to avoid being crushed, as they have the right of way. A peep into the Karaouin Mosque, which also houses the oldest and most famous university in the Arab world. Dating from the 9th century, it was founded 700 years before either Oxford or Cambridge. Moroccan women often wear a haik, a shroud-like wrapping, often white, while both sexes wear a jalaba, a long Moroccan coat with a hood, which enables them to cover their head when required. Morocco belongs to the Arab League. Its official language is Classical Arabic, but it is not a typical Arab country because 65% of the population are Berbers who speak Berber and sometimes Arabic. These people are the first named people recorded in Morocco, but very little is known of their origins. Morocco having been occupied by both the Spanish and the French, these two languages are also spoken. As we made our way along these narrow alleyways, it appeared that almost every conceivable article was being sold. Embroidered silks, gold and silver jewellery, traditional wedding apparel, leather goods, carpets, furniture, etc., etc. Now we leave Fez and look back on this amazing network of human activity. On the road to Marrakesh, we first saw a nomad's dwelling. These are tent-dwelling people who continually move from place to place. With their herds of cattle and sheep, they are reputed to be quite wealthy. Wherever there was a creek or riverbed, either dry or flowing, the pink oleanders helped to add a little colour to the drab landscape. El Borj was a stop for a cool drink, where mad dogs and Englishmen were feeling the midday sun. At the small town of Canifera, where weekly souks or markets are held, we were fortunate to see a little of the horse market, held at longer intervals. During the market, Berber riders put on an impressive show of riding as they charged across the arena discharging their rifles. It was men such as these who carried the sword of Islam that established the Muslim Empire. The approach to Marrakesh, first past some old city walls, and then later along tree-lined boulevards, to ultimately the Hotel Andalus with its delightful outdoor dining area set in beautiful grounds. Not far out of town was a well-kept olive plantation, for which a dam had been constructed for irrigation. The water came from the high Atlas Mountains, a mere 40 miles away. Of course, the Arabs were not slow to earn a penny by providing camel rides for the tourists. We were surprised to learn that most of the camels in this country are imported from Australia. Near the eastern end of Avenue Mohammed V stands Marrakesh's famed symbol, the Koutoubia minaret, a towering Moorish structure. It is the finest of the 12th century minarets. Nearly 70 meters in height, it is visible for miles. From here it is not far to the Jamar el Fanar Square, from where various passageways lead into the Medina with its many souks or small markets, specializing in one commodity after another. The water cellar is a common sight, for this is a thirsty city where it rains only 1 month of the year in December, and the temperature is often 40 degrees Celsius. As we watched them filling their water bags from a garden hose, I decided bottled drink was a safer bet. Although, here was the remedy for the inevitable tummy ache, I'm sure. Built for the Prime Minister around the turn of the century, this palace is now owned by the King and the royal family. The great courtyard has been used and seen in several international films. Unlike the other royal palaces, this one can be visited, except when the owner is at home. Setting off by Phaeton to visit the tombs of the Sardians, rulers of this area in the 16th century. Walled up, they lay forgotten until 1977 when they were rediscovered. A hole in the wall was cut leading through a narrow passageway so that the visitor can see the gardens and view these ancient tombs. One could not help wondering how the storks viewed this hectic scene from their homes high above the madding crowd. To conclude our visit, we travelled 80 kilometres into the desert to enjoy a fabulous Berber extravaganza. We were greeted by Berber horsemen on their white steeds and elaborately gowned women singing and dancing. A sumptuous Moroccan meal was served in huge tents, magnificently decorated in various coloured satins, while we were entertained with more singing and dancing by both girls and men. Afterwards, on a huge arena, Berber horsemen displayed their riding skills. Finally, a colourful procession of all those who had participated was followed by fireworks. At last it was all over, with au revoir, goodbye, and adios.